Hello, my name is Sherry Adair, and welcome to Atlanta Home Improvement Magazine.
Show me the way. Open the way.
And straight from the pages of the magazine, we will bring you ideas and inspiration and introduce you to the industry experts in Atlanta to help you turn your home improvement dreams into reality.
Know which way to go.
Hi, I'm Patty Stevens with Atlanta Home Improvement Magazine, and I'm here today with Eric King from Piedmont Landscape. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Patty.
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm really excited to be here today.
We're standing here today in this woodland oasis. Tell us about this project, Eric.
Sure, this is really a special place to me. It's on 7 acres here in Marietta, wooded, heavily wooded. You never even know that we're this close to the city. And the house is a beautiful, real simple country home with a lot of fabulous antiques and details that the owners have pulled together here over years of living it. They're real stewards of the land. They really love the woods and keep it beautiful and simple.
Larry and I met in 1966, and his parents had purchased this property, and we started coming up here, having picnics and spending the afternoons, and we just fell in love with it.
So how do you even begin?
Well, you know, the beginning, part of it was easy because the site sort of spoke to me. And the owners also literally spoke to me about what they wanted.
Our 35th anniversary, and so Larry said, well, what are we going to do for our 35th anniversary? And I said, let's get a hot tub. And so he said, all right. So we had come in contact with Piedmont Landscaping, and they had come out, they were going to do some plantings for us in the back and design a garden. And so I had them come up, and that's when we got introduced to Eric. And Eric, now I can do nothing, because Larry says, I think maybe you better talk to Eric, because he designed it. He said, yes, you can put the hot tub here, right here in front of your house. And he designed this whole little like bathhouse design that just fits right in there with our house.
He gave
So
us
he
the
just-
courage to
Yeah.
try something that we probably would not have tried on our own, because it would have been such a bold thing to do.
But they really have a sense for the land. They care for the land. They've put a lot of time in designing this home and creating some character. So that when they told me what they wanted, a lot of it was already here for me to work with in the sense of the style of the house. But what I wanted to look at was the big picture. So even though we knew we were going to put a hot tub right there and build an enclosure for that, I stepped back and looked at the surrounds of the areas around the hot tub, all the surrounding areas. And there were rotten railroad ties that you had to walk over and past to get to the front door. There was ivy growing through some of their perennial beds. And even if we made this great, super cool hot tub enclosure, it was still in the middle of rotten railroad ties.
Tell us about this rock wall, Eric.
Well, this is one of my favorite parts about this. What we did is, again, considering the site, 7 acres of a beautiful woodland here, we decided to keep the wall as natural as possible. So we took over 100 tons of boulders we used to make retaining walls and steps. Now, for people to understand, 100 tons would be over 2 tractor trailer loads full, top to bottom, with stones of all different sizes and shapes.
Having just come up that driveway, I can't imagine how you got that done.
Well, that really wasn't easy.
The drainage through the rocks, is that good for the planting beds?
It really is. This wall provides a lot of places for water to move through, and water has a lot of weight. So it's important that it finds a way to move out of the wall so that it doesn't cause the wall to collapse. But it also provides little nooks and crannies to plant little plants that can feed on that moisture that come through. And it's great for the plants above it. Miss Neal really loves herbs and interesting plants, and herbs need great drainage. So this provides an opportunity for the plants to thrive.
We are so happy. We are just thrilled with it. I mean, we love it. We walk out here at night, and when we have the night lights on, and we go, well, gosh, this doesn't even look like, it seems like we're in a hotel or something. You know, this isn't our place.
Must be someone else's
Yeah, it
place.
must be somebody else's. And so then we go, oh yes, well, would you like to go in there and look at it? So we have a great time, and we are so pleased. I am just so thrilled, and we just love Eric to death. I mean, I'll say Piedmont Landscaping, but it's Eric.
Show me the way.
I understand there's a lot going on here at the Westy Group, And Sherry's taking a tour, so let's go check it out.
We are standing in what I think is probably my personal favorite vignette that you have here at the Westie Group. It's contemporary style, it's my colors, I love it.
We
You
noticed.
have to
We
tell
did
me
it for
about
you.
this. Thank you, I love it. Tell me about this, Rob.
Well, this kitchen is on the contemporary design. Somatic Cabinetry partnered up with us. They're a high-end cabinet line out of Germany, and they do traditional lines, but they're really known for some of the contemporary designs as well. We do a lot in the Midtown, Buckhead area that have kind of that influence, and so we try to show in the showroom some of both. When you look over into this section on here, you see what looks like a panel, but if you just pull it open just a little bit, you'll find that it's an integrated dishwasher. Extremely popular inside the high-end kitchens because people don't want to see, typically, unless it's a stainless, they just rather blend into their beautiful cabinetry that they've dreamed about having in their kitchen. So this adds to the warmth of the product itself.
Beautiful, I love it. I love the granite. Tell me about that.
The granite, it's kind of unique, not just from the size standpoint, but if you run your hand over it, you'll notice it's what's called a flamed granite, where they take basically high heat and they bubble up the granite again, so it kind of gives you a contour feel to it. Very durable, very easy maintenance-wise, but just a really unique fit and finish that really adds something to the dimension of the kitchen. If you look a little bit inside the granite here, you'll see that we have an undermount sink, a stainless steel, very durable, beautiful shine, very quiet. People think stainless steel, if you drop something and it's loud, it's not. They have sound padding in them so that it's a very deadened sound. Above it, which is a KWC brand that we distribute, is also from Switzerland. It's a very high-end line. They've been building them since 1812. They're known for their faucets around the world, Ritz-Carlton and so on. And some of the products that we show off in the showroom here, like this particular one, is called a tri-flow system, where you have filtered water that comes out of the top whenever you want it, and then you have also your regular spray head that can pull out, that you can have for filling up water, washing, what have you, so you don't need separate holes cut into your granite if that's the design and the feel that you like. That product will fit that for you.
Wonderful, I love that.
As you travel around the kitchen here, you'll notice the hood. Now, typically on a wall, you put a wall hood. In this particular application, we put in an island hood just to kind of add some flair. The designers we work with are creative. There is no recipe. You can be as creative as you want to be and your designer can be. There's no limit to what you can do. It's below, if you notice here, is we've got a very interesting composition. You've got electric on the right side with a glass saran top here, and then you've got gas. You've got two different, some people like gas, some people like electric. With our systems, we do 15-inch modules that you can do steamers, deep fryers, electric, gas, grills, wok rings with electric or gas cooktops. So
it makes all the cooks in the house happy.
we're here to please every cook in every house. So.
There we go, that's great.
Now below it, if you notice too, is the wall oven. The wall ovens at Wolf make are very unique just from the outset, even before you get into the performance of it. If you notice on the control panel itself, there's a little button. You saw the integrated dishwasher. We also integrate the control panels because there's a lot of lights, a lot of buttons, and in some of these kitchens, you don't want to see that. So if you don't, you hit the button and it just flips right around. The door itself, when it presents itself, when you're in a hurry, you open up the door, you notice a ton of hydraulics. It doesn't slam down on you. It holds 75 pounds. The bottom rack slides right out onto the blue porcelain, which people love that color. It's a very warm, inviting feeling. We always laugh because people always, during Thanksgiving, are standing by the oven waiting for their turkey to come out. It's like a TV. So it's a very beautiful look that we have here.
Well, thank you so much for having us here today, and thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for taking us on the tour, and I love this room as well. But before we leave, I'd like for our viewers to know exactly why do people come to the Westie Group, and exactly who would come?
It's fun because it's a resource center, and when you look at what we can offer to consumers that are either replacing product, you're remodeling a kitchen or another room in the house that would use some of the product here, or you're building new construction. Houses take anywhere from 6 months to 3 years depending on the size of them. So as you come in, you can do your selections here, and our consultants will sit down with them and work out all the different details and products and new launches and everything else, so when they walk away, it's a very private environment, even though it's open to the public, so they can spend 2 hours with people, because it's a big purchase.
It's all very rich, from the tile flooring to the granite to the mahogany cabinets.
Show me the way.
Let's go back to the pages of Atlanta Home Improvement Magazine and check it out. Hi, I'm Patty Stevens with Atlanta Home Improvement Magazine, and I'm here in Dunwoody today with William Fadul of the building firm. Hi, William.
Hello, Patty.
Thanks for being with us.
Certainly.
Could you tell us a little bit about the overall layout of the kitchen?
Sure. First of all, this house is a little bit atypical of what's known as a Dunwoody house, sort of the 5-4 and a door style. As you look around, you see that there's almost an atrium style to the kitchen, and that's how we found it. We didn't change the footprint really of the kitchen, except in some minor ways. And the vaulted the den and family room that's adjacent to it. So the challenge here really was to solve some problems that were inherent in the way that traffic flowed through the kitchen, and some design features that were original to the house.
The first thing that happened in the kitchen, the silverware drawers fell out, and we decided that we'd hated the kitchen since the moment we'd moved in the house. 2 people of adult size could not be out there at the same time together, and that we loved the house, we loved the lot, but the kitchen had to go. And finally it started falling apart, which gave us the impetus to say it's time.
We worked with Paul and Molly Smith and their wonderful designers, Shirley McFarland from the Fusion Design Group and Wallace Bryan from Southern Exposure, to solve the various issues we had here, like an absolutely hideous fireplace.
The other sore point in the house was the fireplace, which we'd hated from the moment we first looked at the house. In fact, I said, I'm not buying this house with this fireplace. It was a huge red brick structure that stuck out into a room that made it even darker, drew your eye up to the ceiling where there was nothing. It was obviously an afterthought to the room. It didn't work, and so when we decided to renovate the kitchen, I said, we'll do this, but while we have the people out here, they're getting rid of this fireplace. I don't care if I have to take a sledgehammer and put it in the dumpster, it is out of here.
A set of stairs that we didn't know what to do with, and thrashed around for weeks and months trying to decide whether we should get rid of this back set of stairs or turn it into a spiral staircase or just make it beautiful, which is what we ended up doing.
It's gorgeous, and it's a second staircase, right?
Absolutely. But it's the way the kids come down to breakfast and the way Paul and Molly can keep track of them. And, you know, we didn't really want to get rid of these stairs and force everybody to use the formal stairs at the front.
I actually love the element it adds to it. It gives the kitchen an even more open feeling.
Absolutely.
I love the contrast, the very dark wood, but it still feels very light and open.
Right. Thanks in large part to the fact that it was already vaulted and these skylights were pre-existing. And then, of course, with, quote, artificial light, we also had a challenge because we had old sort of 70s style track lights that were kind of glued up in various places here, and ended up working with this cable lighting system that you see behind you, which gives you a tremendous amount of versatility in terms of low voltage lighting, task lighting, local lighting, pendant lighting, and it's all changeable.
And the pendant lights really warm it up.
Yeah.
And speaking of warming it up, I've never seen such a tile floor that still looks so warm. It almost looks like slate. Can you tell me the decisions behind the process of going with the tile floor?
Sure. The tile was ultimately a decision after some serious consideration of cork, which would hold up fairly well but needed maintenance. It needed to be polyurethane periodically. So they decided on this porcelain tile that has, really, if you stand back, it looks a good bit like slate, don't you think?
It looks a lot like slate, and I love the color. There's such movement, and it complements very well with the granite. All the different colors, they blend, but they're still yet very distinct.
Absolutely. It's all very rich, from the tile flooring to the granite to the mahogany cabinets. These cabinets are by Premier. It's a wonderful company in Pennsylvania. And all of this is so rich and dark, yet with all the light flowing through, not only from the skylights, the windows, the doors, but the fact that we opened up to the den and the family room brings natural light in, so you can get away with these colors.
And the natural colors, I know you said before that the fireplace was all brick, and I saw some pictures of the before, and what a dramatic difference. It just makes it all so very warm and open, and great place where you want to go sit and have a cup of coffee and read the paper.
Absolutely. As we were discussing earlier, it is sort of a keeping room. And the fireplace that was there was pretty much industrial. I mean, it was just brick from floor to the point of the vaulted ceiling, and fairly disturbing design element. So we were really happy to discover that it wasn't structural.
Well, when people are amazed that we lived in our basement for the 5 months that the renovation took, other than to come up to our bedrooms at night to sleep, and they say, how could you do that? And we look around and we say, oh, it would have been worth it to live down there 15 months. The job was handled competently. The workers, the supervisor, everybody did exactly what they said they'd do when they said they would do it, which I think is a modern miracle. And we couldn't have been more pleased with their work.
If you have any questions about remodeling, call William Fadul at the building firm. And William, thanks so much for being with us today. This is gorgeous.
Thank you,
This
Patty.
is just gorgeous.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Show me the way.
Let's